Good morning, everybody. Hi, nice to see you this morning. Welcome to our Sunday video. I'm Jacob from Takeoff, if you didn't know, and it's wonderful to see you all here this morning. If you're new especially, wonderful to see you. Please reach out to us in the comments on our Facebook page, on our Connect site, on the Belmont website. Just get in touch with us. We'd love to get to know you at some point. Now, this morning, we're going to be starting a new series on Daniel. And Daniel was a guy in the Bible who faced lots and lots of challenges through his life. And through that, he learned to trust God and build a stronger relationship with him. This morning, we are going to have this video session, but the 8s to 11s, the SOS group, are going to be on Zoom as well. So if you're a new 8s to 11 and you would like to join the Zoom call, please drop us an email and we will be able to get you hooked up onto that one. Now, we're going to start with a song in just a moment, but first of all, I'm going to give us a quick prayer and then we're going to get straight into our first song. Lord, thank you so much for the amazing technology that we've been able to use through lockdown. Thank you that we can still connect with you even though we're scattered across the city, and that we can all find a stronger faith in you just like Daniel did. Amen. Enjoy the song.
When Jehoiakim was the king of Judah and Nebuchadnezzar was the king of Babylon, he went with his army to Judah. Because God's people had sinned against him, God gave Nebuchadnezzar permission to take over the city of Jerusalem. King Nebuchadnezzar told one of his leaders to bring back some of the people to Babylon. He wanted handsome, quick-learning and talented boys to serve in his palace. Each day, the king gave specific orders that the boys had to eat the same food that he ate. They had to drink the same food that he drank. 4 of the boys who came to Judah were different from the others. Their names were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. The person in charge of them changed their names to Babylonian names, which were Belshazzar, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These 4 boys were different from the others because they believed in God, our Lord, the one true God. They wanted to obey God, and they wanted to obey God's law. Daniel spoke to the person in charge and said, I don't want us to eat the same food as the king. It's against our God's law. Can we eat something else other than this food? But the person in charge was afraid. He feared that the king would kill him because they would not be strong like the other men. Daniel said, Give us 10 days eating just vegetables and drinking just water, and see if we are stronger and healthier then. The person in charge agreed. After the 10 days were up, the 4 boys were strong and healthy, much stronger and healthier than the other men. So they were allowed to keep eating and drinking vegetables and water. This made God happy, because they had obeyed their laws. The king could see that they were stronger and healthier than the other men. And Daniel worked for the king for many years. God was happy that Daniel obeyed him. God blessed Daniel and his friends. He made them wise and smart. They learnt lots of new things. God even gave Daniel the ability to understand visions and dreams.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are safe. I hope you are well. And I hope you're looking forward to this morning's little story and message. So, we are in the book of Daniel. We started a little series looking at Daniel, and we've just heard chapter 1. How exciting that we're in another book. A lot of fun things happen in Daniel. And today's, I don't know if you noticed, but it kind of very loosely centres around food. Now, if that doesn't entice you into wanting to hear what I have to say, I'm not sure what will. Okay, so let's have a look, shall we? So the main characters in this story are 4 men called Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Try saying that 10 times faster. Challenge you. And I'm not going to say those names again because it's a massive mouthful. So, 4 men. Now, they were part of a big group of people in Babylon under the rule of King Nebuchadnezzar, King Neb, as I like to call him, who didn't actually come from Babylon. So King Neb went into Jerusalem and just took it over. He went in, caused havoc, stole a load of things, stole a load of gold to put in his temple of gods, and took a lot of people as well from their homes. And these 4 men were part of those people who didn't actually come from Babylon. So these 4 men, part of a big group of people who ended up being called to King Neb to basically be trained up to work for him for 3 years. So there was going to be a 3-year course where they kind of eat well and be educated into how to best serve King Neb. Now, this involved eating a certain diet. So King Neb was like, let's give them this strict diet of food and wine that's going to be prepared in my big royal kitchens. And that's actually against what God wanted Daniel to be doing and what God wanted his people to be eating and drinking. So Daniel wasn't very keen on that. And when he got told that he was going to have to eat these things and drink this wine, he kind of rebelled, and he said to the King Neb's guards, his official, he said, I don't want to eat this. Can I not eat it? What about vegetables? What if I have a diet of vegetables? And then the official said back, he said, well, you're not going to be as healthy and as strong as all the people who are eating what the king wants to eat, so it's not going to be very good, and I'm going to get in trouble. My head might get cut off, and it'll be all your fault, is what he said. But Daniel, he made a little proposition. He said, give me a diet of vegetables and water for 10 days and see how healthy and how strong we are, us 4 men. And the official was okay with that. He accepted that. So I imagine all your mouths are watering right now. Imagine that, a whole 10 days, vegetables, carrots, broccoli, peas, tomatoes. Oh, Bet you're craving a carrot right now. You can tell. Yes, so they had this diet of water and vegetables for 10 days and ended up, they were really big and they were really big. They were really strong and they were really healthy, and they were healthier than all the other men who were eating this other fancy diet that the king wanted them to eat. And the official saw this and was pleased, and he said, okay, you can carry on eating this. You don't have to eat this other meal that your God doesn't want you to eat. And, well, because Daniel and his friends obeyed God and obeyed what God wanted them to do and honoured him, they were actually blessed with some really cool skills, and they learned some really cool things, and they were really wise, and they had a lot of understanding. And it turns out that after the 3 years that they were kind of training to be working for the king, when they were called upon by the king to help in some important situations, they were actually more helpful and more understanding than any other people that he had working for him, which is amazing and a massive blessing by God, wasn't it? So because these 4 men obeyed God and honoured him in what they were doing, when other people were disobeying, they were blessed, and God gave them good things and helped them along the way. So what can we learn from this story? Well, God blesses those who obey him. God does good things to those who obey him. Now, you may have been in a situation where you knew that people were maybe not doing the right thing, and there was an option between doing the right thing and doing the wrong thing, obeying and disobeying. And you may have thought, oh, this is quite tough actually, because I know that something's wrong and I want to be obeying the rules and obeying what I know is right. And that's the same when we have a life with God, isn't it? We're faced with things which we know that God doesn't want us to do and that God doesn't approve of. And then we see other people doing these things and we find it really hard to obey God. But the amazing thing is that if we give these times and we trust in God, God will give us the courage to be obedient. And he is really pleased with us when we do that. And we'll get a great reward in heaven. Tell you that. It'll be amazing. And yeah, so when it's really hard and when it's really tough to obey God, just trust that he'll keep you safe. And even when you're really scared, to maybe, stand up for God and stand up for what he wants for us and wants the way he wants us to live our lives. Just know that God will protect you, and he will keep you safe and give you good things because of that. So when you have the choice to disobey or to obey and find it hard to do right, look to God for courage and stand up for God, stand up for what he tells us is right. And I just encourage you to choose vegetables. Take anything from this, choose vegetables. That means stand up for God, by the way. So to finish, I actually have a few questions for you to think about in your families and to have a chat about and maybe pray about. So I have a few things. So the first thing is, when do you find it really, really hard to obey God and to stand up for him and be obedient when other people aren't? And also another thing, think about times where you may have disobeyed God and you might have gone down a different path that you know that he thought wasn't right. And just say sorry for that and just, pray about how you might next time stand up for God instead. And then thirdly, how can you encourage other people to obey God and to stand up for him when other people are disobeying, to do things that are right in his eyes? So that's a few things for you to chat about in your families now and to pray about. I will leave you on a verse, which is in Ephesians 6:10. And it says, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his great powers." Choose your vegetables.
Hello! This week I've got a craft for you based on a story that we've just heard about Daniel and his friends and how they obeyed God. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a plate of fruit and vegetables so that when we look at it and read it, that we will remember how they obeyed God. So you'll need a paper plate or bowl or just a piece of white paper, a glue stick, some scissors, some coloured paper to make the fruit and vegetables out of, and then some colouring stuff, so like pencils or crayons or felt tips, either of those will do. Once you've got all those drawn and cut out, just like these, what you're going to do is you're going to take your plate and then you're going to glue them all down so it looks like it's a lovely, lovely meal. So just a dab of glue on each one and press them down. And then what you're going to do is take a pen or a pencil, and then if you can, write on the side of your plate, "Daniel and his friends obeyed God." If your plate is a bit shiny like mine and it doesn't let you write on it very well, what I've done is taken a little piece of blue paper and written it on there, and then I'm going to stick it on the side. Underneath it I've written that it's from the book of Daniel, so that if I want to go and look back and read a story, I can easily find it. And then there you are, a plate that will remind you of the story of Daniel and his friends and how they obeyed God. Do show us what you've made and send in some photos because we'd love to see. Have a good week. Bye!
Well, that is everything for this week, but church doesn't have to stop here. Please do carry on the conversation with your friends and family. Chat about what you've thought, what you've learned, maybe share some things with them that they can use too. Just keep the conversation going. It's been great to have you all with us this week. We've really enjoyed you watching along with us. And please do use our Facebook page to share any pictures of your crafts or things that you've prayed about together. On the Facebook page, you will also be able to find some extra resources for extra crafts or extra learning activities that you can do together as a family. We've loved having you with us and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good week.